What if I told you 7 words written thousands of years ago explain almost every bad decision you've ever made? Not just small mistakes. I'm talking about the decisions that cost people their relationships, their peace, their money, even their future. And the most dangerous part, those decisions didn't feel wrong when they made them. They felt right. And there's a verse in the Bible, Proverbs 14:12, that says, "There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death." That one word, appears, is the entire warning. Because the most destructive paths in life rarely look destructive at the beginning. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever made a decision you knew deep down wasn't right, but you did it anyway? Maybe it felt good in the moment, maybe it felt justified, maybe it even felt necessary, but later you looked back and thought, why did I do that? Like, that's not a lack of intelligence, that's something deeper. Because here's the truth most people never realize. People don't ruin their lives by choosing what looks wrong. Modern psychology actually explains this. There's something called motivated reasoning. It means your brain doesn't start with logic. It starts with desire or fear, and then builds logic around it. In simple terms, you don't decide based on truth, you decide based on what you want to be true. Then your mind becomes a lawyer defending that decision. Think about it. You don't say, this is a bad decision, let me do it anyway. You say, like, this actually makes sense. I deserve this. It's not that serious. I'll fix it later. And just like that, the wrong path starts to feel like the right one. They ruin their lives by choosing what looks right in the moment. This is how it plays out in real life. The relationship that destroys you doesn't start with pain. It starts with connection, excitement, butterflies. The habit that turns into addiction doesn't start as a problem, it starts as relief, a way to cope, something that takes the edge off. And the financial decision that sets you back years, it doesn't look like a mistake, it looks like an opportunity, a smart move. Sometimes even a blessing. This is the trap. The path appears right until it's too late. Let's bring this into money because this is where it quietly destroys people. The expensive car feels like success. The bigger house feels like progress. The lifestyle upgrade every time you earn more feels like you're finally winning. But what's actually happening? You're trading long-term freedom for short-term validation. You're building the appearance of wealth while slowly losing the reality of it. This is why people earning 6 figures can still feel financially trapped, because the path they chose appeared right. So what's the solution? It's not trusting yourself more. It's questioning yourself more. It's developing the discipline to pause and ask, does this just feel right or is it actually right? That's why another verse says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, because your own understanding is often the very thing leading you off track. Real wisdom is not about knowing more. It's about seeing through yourself. It's the ability to step back from your emotions, your impulses, your desires, and recognize, I might be wrong about this. That kind of humility is rare, but it's also what separates people who stay stuck from people who actually become free. Financially, emotionally, spiritually. Because at the end of the day, the most dangerous road in your life is not the one that looks wrong, it's the one that looks exactly like where you're supposed to be going. That's the road that keeps people stuck for years. So here's the question. Where in your life right now are you following something that only appears right? Your money, your decisions, your direction? Comment below. Because the moment you start questioning the path is the moment you stop walking blindly.